Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. Huge news. Robbie Amell just confirmed, along with Andrew Kreisberg, that they're going to be bringing Deathstorm onto The Flash Season 2. Now this requires a bunch of explanation because they're not doing Blackest Night, they're not doing Green Lantern stuff. They're just bringing Robbie Amell back onto the show as Earth 2 Ronnie. Just in case you haven't seen the beginning of The Flash Season 2, spoilers from The Flash Season 2 Episode 1. So here we go. So what happened at the end of Season 1, when Barry went back in time, he created this giant wormhole that was going to eat the entire planet. And in the beginning of Season 2, in Season 2 Episode 1, Earth 1 Ronnie and Martin Stein had to decouple the Firestorm Matrix at its center. That worked, but it seemed like Ronnie ended up dying because only Martin Stein came back. So a lot of people were wondering what happened to Earth 1 Ronnie. Really, it's just Robbie Amell leaving the show for a period of time. But he's a great friend of everyone. Obviously, he's Stephen Amell's cousin. They're always going to try and bring him back whenever they can. And because it's the comic book universe, there are so many ways to explain how characters come back from the dead or how they can come back as different versions of characters. So what the TV show is doing is giving us Earth 2 Ronnie, who is a villain and calling himself Deathstorm. They're not doing the original Deathstorm from the comics. Now, there is a New 52 version of Firestorm from Earth 3 that calls himself Deathstorm, but that's actually just Martin Stein. So I'm actually going to explain who Deathstorm is really quick. I have to explain a little bit of Blackest Night, but basically, the TV show is just using the name for an evil version of Firestorm from Earth 2 that is Ronnie Raymond, who will be married to Killer Frost. That was the other little bit. He's going to be married to Caitlin Snow of Earth 2, who is Killer Frost. So it'll be like a Bonnie and Clyde kind of thing, where it's like, oh, it's so much more fun to be bad. But Deathstorm in the comics is basically a Black Lantern version of Ronnie Raymond, who was resurrected by Nekron and then became fused with the Firestorm Matrix, like the resurrected Ronnie fused with the Firestorm Matrix to become Deathstorm. Now, if you haven't read Blackest Night, it's this big sweeping Green Lantern story that crossed across the entire DC universe. It involved every single character that DC had. Anybody that was dead was resurrected and came back as a Lantern, but part of the Black Lantern Corps. So they're all really evil. Eventually the heroes are able to destroy the Black Lantern battery, getting rid of all the Black Lantern rings, basically depowering all the villains. But the strongest of the Black Lanterns are able to continue on without their Black Lantern rings. Deathstorm is one of those characters. When resurrected Ronnie Raymond fuses with the Firestorm Matrix, he kind of becomes his own lantern battery, like his own power generation source. So while Deathstorm is running around, he basically just tries to torture Jason Rusch and just do the most evil things possible, like he turns his girlfriend to salt. Deathstorm has the same powers as Firestorm, and one that we haven't seen on the TV show yet that I think they'll do on Legends of Tomorrow is transmutation. He can change the molecular structure of physical objects. So Jason Rusch has this love interest, and Deathstorm is like, boom, turn you into salt. Very evil, very twisted. Now, of course, Jason Rusch isn't someone they're doing on the TV show. They're doing the Jax Jackson character, and I think the reason why they're not doing like a resurrected Earth 1 Ronnie Deathstorm is because they don't want to make it too complicated. But now that we do have Earth 2 Ronnie Firestorm, at some point in the future, they can pit him against Jax Jackson, and it'll be like a who is the real Firestorm? Like, you're the imposter Firestorm, I'm the real Firestorm. I think we can all agree that it'd be awesome for them to try a Blackest Night storyline at some point, but they have to do Green Lantern first. There was a Green Lantern Easter egg on Arrow Season 4. There was an H. Jordan name tag in a bar in Coast City, but that's as close as we've gotten to Green Lantern so far. So at some point, they're either going to have to shit or get off the pot, but I think it's going to be a long time before they'll be able to do an actual Green Lantern storyline. So just to recap, what the TV show is doing is Earth 2 Ronnie Raymond, who is calling himself Deathstorm, who is basically just an evil version of Firestorm, who is married to Killer Frost, and they'll be like Bonnie and Clyde, probably tasked by Zoom with beating the shit out of the Flash, just to make the Flash stronger. We know now after the mid-season finale that Zoom just wants to make the Flash more full of Speed Force so that he can fatten him up like Christmas Goose and steal more Speed Force. Now, some of you may have heard me talk about Crime Syndicate Earth, like Earth 3 from the comics. That's kind of what they're doing with Earth 2 on the TV show. The Flash's Earth 2 is all about a bunch of metahumans being created, but them all kind of turning evil. It sounds like Zoom, the evil version of the Flash on that world, is slowly turning metahumans evil or killing them off. Like he's probably giving them the choice. You can work with me, do what I say, or I'll kill you. So it's like, okay, I guess we'll be bad. Earth 2 in the comics is more like the Golden Age characters, like the Justice Society world. So the TV show is really blending a lot of Earth 2 comic book things with Earth 3 comic book things, with Crime Syndicate things. If you are big comic book fans and you haven't been reading Darkseid War, that's the Justice League title that Jeff Johns is writing right now, he just introduced some Crime Syndicate things. I don't want to get too spoilery because it's a really awesome comic book story, but check out Justice League Darkseid War. Now the next big question is, when are we going to see this? Because if they're just shooting it right now, they're usually about 6 weeks out, so I'm guessing this is either episode 15 or episode 16. There are a couple two-parters that we haven't seen yet. Episode 10 is going to air on the 19th, then Arrow comes back on the 20th, then Legends of Tomorrow episode 1 airs on the 21st. Now, if you didn't see it, I'll put a link in the description, but there's a Suicide Squad, Batman v Superman, Wonder Woman special that's also coming on the 19th. Captain America Civil War also has a special that's coming on the 19th. There is a ton of stuff happening on that Tuesday night. So I'll have like 5 videos that I'll have to make in those 2 days, but you guys are going to poop your pants. There's so much awesome stuff dropping. Just in case you guys haven't seen it, you can click here for the Flash Season 2 Killer Frost trailer. You finally get to see Caitlin Snow as Killer Frost. And you can click here to learn all about that Suicide Squad special that's coming. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.